This is the closing argument in the case of Wendy Darling versus Neverland Bank and the owner, Mr. Smee. So let's talk about the issue. Is Wendy Darling being discriminated against because she is a woman and given unequal pay in her annual bonus? So we'll go through the facts of the case. Facts. Wendy Darling. She's a 45-year-old woman. She has worked at Neverland Bank for over 27 years. But she's only one of two females throughout the entire company. She has proven, though, that she is a hard and dedicated worker, which has been reflected in her performance ratings from her clients. Now let's look at facts for Neverland Bank and Mr. Smee. Mr. Smee says that business outings are quote-unquote not for ladies. He predominantly has a male staff. Now we're going to go into facts on Peter Starr, who is Wendy Darling's counterpart. He has shown favoritism time and time again when he has been invited to business outings. He's only 36 years old, and he's worked at Neverland Bank for 18 years, yet he has the same position as Wendy Darling. He has low performance ratings that he has gotten from his clients. Now we're going to discuss the facts for the issue. So the verbal salary contract agreement states that at the end of the year, if the department's goal is met, each manager splits the bonus 50-50. Wendy received $225,000 as a year in bonus. Her counterpart, Peter, however, started listing and started talking about recent big purchases that seemed like it added up to over $225,000. So Wendy filed complaints with HR against Peter and Mr. Smee. However, nothing was ever done. Ultimately, she was forced to resign. She was forced to start her career all over again. The last part of the facts section we will discuss are the facts against the issue. Yes, Wendy did improperly access the Human Resources website to get confirmation on Peter's bonus because she knew that with his recent purchases that he was going around and telling everyone about, it seemed like it added up to more than the $225,000 that he should have gotten according to the verbal salary bonus agreement. So the next section that we'll discuss is the laws of this case.
There are two laws included in our presentation. The first law is the Equal Pay Act of 1963. The Equal Pay Act prohibits sex-based wage discrimination. A wage can mean regular pay, overtime pay, salary, bonus, vacation pay, and other company benefits. This act applies since Wendy was paid a smaller bonus than Peter for performing the same job while having the same job title and responsibilities. The second law is the Civil Rights Act of 1964, Title VII. The Civil Rights Act prohibits employers from discriminating based on sex, age, religion, or ethnicity. This applies to employers who have more than 15 employees. Neverland Bank had 40 employees. This act also applies since Neverland Bank paid Wendy a lesser bonus than Peter simply because she is a woman.
These two laws help us answer the two underlying issues of the case of Wendy versus Neverland Bank. The two questions are, was Wendy discriminated against, and was she singled out and not paid equally for the same job? Discrimination is to be treated unfair due to gender, race, age, religion, and culture. This gives people an unequal opportunity by denying them because of these reasons instead of by their knowledge and skills. By this standard, Wendy was in fact discriminated against due to the fact that she is a woman. This is shown by the sheer fact that Wendy received less of a bonus for doing the exact same job as Peter, and even had better performance results. She was treated unfairly by all standards because she is a woman and not paid the same as Peter, while working in the same position. There's no denying that discrimination took place in this case. Peter was taken on business trips, and Wendy was told that these trips are not for ladies. There are only 2 women working at the entire bank that she works at, which is usually an industry that is predominantly women. She filed complaints with HR, nothing was done, and then forced to resign from the only job she's ever had with no reason. The fact that Wendy gained access to the human resource records to determine Peter's bonus pay is irrelevant to the overwhelming facts of this case. Wendy has been a better performing employee than Peter, but this does not show in their compensation that was received in their bonuses. The fact of the matter is, if Wendy was a man, like Peter, she would have received the same $300,000 bonus that Peter received, and the facts of this case prove it.
So, the holding/decision for this deserves to be confiscated? Who? Well, who deserves to be compensated? It's funny you should ask. Wendy should receive all the funds that is due to her for the verbal contract that was breached by Mr. Smee. Mr. Smee had said that in verbally that she was going to get half and half pay with her partner. So Mr. Smee did not fulfill his end of the contract, so he violated the contract and it was considered breach. That is our holding and our decision for this case. Now over to the issues.
Overall, our group worked well together. We came together when we had any problems or issues, and we remained focused throughout the entire time. We always managed to turn in our parts on time to one another so the team captain could get our project turned in. We all put forth our best effort and everyone completed their parts. And we also supported one another and offered to help each other if needed. Although we had many strengths, we also had some weaknesses, some of which included lack of communication or confusion on who is required to do which part. We also had some misunderstandings involving texting each other and reading discussion posts. Some would misread or skip over text explaining certain information regarding the project. And we also had some trouble staying organized in the discussion boards or group chats. We created multiple chats, so it was hard to keep up with one another's posts. Overall, we learned the importance of teamwork and that all members must contribute equally to make the assignment successful. What did we learn? Law is extremely important in the business world. When forming a business, all involved in the process must know the laws affecting their business. These laws are meant to provide guidelines by which businesses are able to avoid litigation, and they provide all businesses involved in the marketplace with fair conditions to succeed. They must be created to exist under the laws of the place or state in which they reside, and any business that operates internationally must comply with the laws that can affect them in either region. Any business can be held accountable for any fraudulent activities taking place. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission was created to protect investors and consumers from these fraudulent activities. Any business can seek the help of a lawyer specializing in business law. They can help the forming businesses structure contracts and exchanges under legal terms. This will help businesses minimize or even avoid liabilities in the long run. Finally, the importance of law in the business world works hand in hand with business relationships. It helps maintain a balance of trust between employers, employees, customers, and investors.